Here are some of the most embarrassing deaths in human history. Gary Hoy. Gary Hoy was a corporate lawyer in a Toronto law firm. While giving the tour of the Toronto Dominion Centre to a group of introductory students, he tried to test the strength of the structure's window glass and maybe prove his masculinity by slamming himself into a window. After one attempt, which he saw the glass hold up, he tried once more. Well, it is said that 90% of gamblers quit before they win big, so Gary Hoy, in this attempt, slammed straight out of the window, with the force from his large Canadian body removing the window from its frame, and causing the entire intact window and Gary Hoy to fall 24 stories. Hoy did not survive this altercation. That was very embarrassing. Let's continue with the other most embarrassing deaths in history. Bobby Leech. Bobby Leech, a stunt performer originating from England, had quite the star-studded career when it came to his stunt performances. He was the second person to ever go over Niagara Falls with nothing but a bucket in 1911. And after that altercation, he ended up spending 6 months in hospital recovering from the injuries sustained from the fall, including a fractured jaw and 2 broken kneecaps. You'd think, with such an adrenaline-fueled lifestyle, he'd eventually have a terrible accident. You'd be correct if the terrible accident was slipping on an orange peel. In 1926, while on a publicity tour in New Zealand, Leech slipped and fell on an orange peel. He had to get his leg amputated and died of complications 2 months later. While Bobby slipped on an orange peel, our next candidate finds himself slipping into something else. David Carradine. David Carradine is an American actor, director, producer, and martial artist. Wow, this guy did a lot. His career involved over 200 major and minor roles in film and television, including his roles in the Kung Fu series and Kill Bill. Carradine arrived in Bangkok, Thailand on May 31st, 2009 to shoot the film Stretch. On June 4th, Carradine was found dead in his room with a rope tied to both his neck and genitals. It is said that he participated in autoerotic asphyxiation, the practice of cutting one's air supply to heighten sexual pleasure. Can't see why that would go wrong. I guess Dirty Dave found his own meaning to Bangkok. Much like our first candidate, Gary Hoy, our next person found himself proving something a little bit too well. Clement Dingdong. Clement Dingdong was an American lawyer and political who served as the leader of the Copperhead faction during the American Civil War. At the age of 50, within a court case representing the defendant Thomas McGeehan, who was accused of murder of a man in a barroom brawl, Dingdong attempted to prove that the victim of McGeehan, Tom Myers, in fact accidentally shot himself. He then proceeded to demonstrate to the jury how this would be possible, and took a supposedly unarmed pistol and reenacted the crime scene. The not unarmed pistol got tugged on his clothing, causing it to fire into his stomach. Thomas McGeehan was released from custody, while Dingdong, although dying, proving his case. What a W lawyer, he stood on his word. Next candidate, Thomas McGeehan. Wait, what? I'm joking, this wasn't per se an embarrassing death, but he was shot only 4 years later in the same saloon he was convicted to shoot Tom Myers. That's pretty ironic. Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe was a Danish astronomer during the Renaissance period who was known as the last major astronomer before the invention of the telescope. His unprecedented research program turned astronomy into one of the first modern sciences and helped launch the scientific revolution. Such a man of high moral upstanding. With such upstanding morals, he attended a banquet in Prague. According to Kepler's first-hand account, Kepler being a scientist that doesn't really do that much, Tycho refused to leave the banquet to urinate for etiquette reasons, and after he had returned home, he had found his kidney had logged off and he was unable to urinate. Tycho died 11 days later after contracting a bladder ailment. Now kids, now we know why our parents tell us not to hold our pee. But respect to Brahe, he didn't want to interrupt the function. And that, folks, is some of the most embarrassing deaths in history. Make sure you don't find yourself on this list either. Okay, bye.